crying for attention. Okay. I find you guys to be subhumans.
Hey, I was just wondering, do you have any of these illegal aliens living in your neighborhood or in your home? I don't think you do.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the hottest debates and trending topics we dive into. Okay, today we are talking about something that has been blowing up across social media. A TikTok video has gone viral and is stirring up some serious emotions. A woman made a shocking statement saying she finds it hilarious that families are being separated due to deportation, even going so far as to call immigrants subhuman. Yeah, you heard that right. And as you can imagine, the reaction online have been pretty intense. So, in this video, we are going to break it all down. What she said, how people are responding, and what this reveals about the wider conversation on immigration. Stick around because this is one conversation you won't want to miss.
I don't give two shits that families are being separated if somebody's getting deported. I actually find it hilarious. It gives me a great deal of comfort. I have no sympathy that your child might grow up without a father because he got sent back to Mexico or whatever. Okay. I find you guys to be subhumans.
Do you know you have 30 fucking minutes? You guys know what to do. This right here is the information you need. Absolutely not. I'm gonna say this with my whole goddamn chest, and I know you might not like it, but when you it is going to be hot as fuck. Hot as fuck. You guys have no morals. Absolutely no morals. You just called these people subhuman, stating that you do not care what happens to them, that it brings you joy, that it makes you laugh. That is absolute crazy work. Mind you, this is the party who claims to have Jesus. He is null and void within the MAGA party. What the hell was that? You really recorded that and put that on the internet, laughing, thinking that was funny. This is exactly why I left the Republican Party, because when I was over there, it took a couple months of me seeing how crazy you guys are, how the lengths that you will go to laugh at another person's misery. Absolutely insane. Could not relate. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow. You won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye. Please report down in the comments your findings.
I find it hilarious because she done lost her job. Oh, she done lost her job. Who ain't got no job? You ain't got no job because you done lost your job, bitch.
All right, I'm gonna try to make this as quick as I can. I posted a comment under your post because I follow you and I love your message and I love everything you stand for, and I used to be a Republican as well, and then learned, like you did, what was really going on. So I have that in common with you. But I tried to post several comments because of how infuriated I was with that woman's ridiculously and hatred. And I think I got 2 or 3 in, and then it kept saying I couldn't comment anymore. So I'm not sure what that's about, but it definitely seems like censorship. But at the end of the day, all I have to say is I'm so grateful for you and the other creators on this app that spread the truth and the real message of what's going on. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, I was just wondering, do you have any of these illegal aliens living in your neighborhood or in your home? I don't think you do. So what you say about Melody is toothless. How do you feel about the word garbage?
No matter how you feel about deportation, illegal immigrants, whether they should go or stay, whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, we are all humans. The fact that there are people in this country celebrating human suffering, being separated from their family, is disgusting and ill. Empathy is free. Feel for people, because whether you believe it or not, you want them to go, you want them to leave. The fact that they are still being separated from their families and their loved ones, that in its own should make you feel bad for them. It's crazy to me that people are celebrating people's suffering.
A little bit of an update. Everybody remembers old Vanishing Finger hot take Melody.
Oh, I absolutely remember her, and I think a lot of people do.
Because you see, what she thought was giving bad bitch attitude was in actuality little bitch energy. Unfortunately for her, the internet does not sleep. She fucked around and found out today and got fired. What was it again? We don't give a fuck. So maybe next time before you go spewing hate, you'll remember to not be a horrible piece of shit, and that karma is a beautiful bitch who works fast.
Subhuman. Well, at least we're native to this land. You are an illegal alien. You are a pilgrim. You are a settler. You don't even know where you come from because it ain't here. And it ain't Turtle Island. You are the illegal alien. So you are subhuman. We let you here on compassion. Yet, 500 years later, you guys can't find a little compassion for other freaking nationalities, as we did to you. If you were to learn anything from all these 500 years of centralization, colonization, and bullshit, is we have compassion. And you guys should pick that up, maybe? Because everything you guys been doing this long hasn't been working, huh? How about try to listen to us, to what we've been telling you? We were left here for the takers of the land for a reason. So no, we're not subhuman, and I'm not Mexican, I'm Native American. But they're Native American, they're my brothers and sisters just as much. We're not subhuman. A person with no compassion, like you are subhuman. How, settler? Fucking pilgrim.
So, this is exactly MAGA. This is exactly what they're about. This is exactly what I was talking about. They get literal enjoyment from human suffering, quite frankly. Let me repeat this. This woman, we all know what happened to her now, but she is emblematic of MAGA. They don't have a political ideology. They really don't. Their fascist movement, their concept of a creator, their outlook on life, etc., has no integrity, because it's really just premised as a mask to wear so they can engage in voyeurism. They're engaged in voyeuristic delight at the suffering of others. It doesn't really matter how they arrived at this mindset, but it is a type of thrill-seeking that is engaged at looking and knowing that others are suffering, that others are feeling pain, that families are being torn apart. They enjoy it. They get a thrill. Some of it is even erotic thrill, believe it or not. I guarantee you. Erotic thrill. They get a charge from knowing others are having a terrible time. And they almost want to be there for the misery, because this is what drives them. This is their purpose in life. And they will twist their spiritual beliefs. They will twist the law. They will twist, conspiracy theories, etc., in order to achieve maximum enjoyment in the suffering of innocents, particularly. They genuinely, deep down, want to see innocent people suffer. They will talk at the surface level and say, like, oh, no, it's because they did something wrong. Absolutely wrong. In fact, when they see people who deserve to be punished, they derive actually less value from it than when they know that somebody who doesn't deserve it, an innocent, is crushed. That is their joy. That is their guilty pleasure. And they will say and do anything at the surface level to achieve that. And there will be no arguing with them. Right? So again, Look at this lady. Look at what she's saying. In fact, she wants to be seen. These people are so sick. I mean, MAGA is so sick and dark that they want to be seen enjoying the misery of innocent people so that they derive even a thrill that you know they're that type of person. And there's not going to be any checks on it. That's what they love.
Alright, the TikTok video of this woman claiming that she find it hilarious that families are being separated due to deportation is honestly shocking, but at the same time, it's reflective of a mindset that unfortunately not rare in some circles. She goes even further to say she has no empathy for children who might grow up without a father because their parents got deported. She openly admits that the situation brings her comfort and that she sees immigration as subhuman. Let that sink in for a moment. This kind of historic is not only harmful, but it also reveals just how deep humanization can run when it comes to immigration debates. Let's unpack this. First off, the term subhuman is one of the most dangerous and derogatory things you can say about a group of people. It's been used throughout history to justify acts of violence and discrimination against marginalized communities. This kind of language dehumanizes individuals and groups, stripping away their humanity, their rights, and their dignity. This video is a reminder of how such language, when normalized, can fuel division, hatred, and even violence. The fact that someone can sit in front of a camera and openly say this about an entire group of people is extremely alarming. And sadly, this isn't isolated. These are people out there who genuinely believe that some humans live as worthless than others. What makes this even worse is that casualness with which she says it. The video wasn't some angry rant or heated moment of frustration. She said it with ease, almost as if it were an everyday opinion. This isn't the reality of an anti-immigration sentiment that has been spreading, especially in the age of social media. The fact that this kind of historic is out there so openly shows how normalized these views have become in certain communities. It's a dangerous shift, especially when you think about how these views influence policy and actions. Now let's talk about the reactions to this video because they are important. On one hand, you have a large number of people who are disgusted, appalling, and disturbed by the woman's comments. These reactions are calling from people who are standing up for basic human rights, for decency, and for compassion. They are calling out the dehumanization, emphasizing how families, regardless of their immigration status, deserve respect, love, and care. This a large wave of support for immigrant communities and their right to be treated like human beings with dignity and empathy. These reactions are a reminder that despite the negativity, there are still many people out there fighting for justice and equality. On the other hand, though, you have a smaller but very vocal group who are actually agreeing with her sentiments, and that is the part that's even scarier. These people are endorsing her views, echoing similar statements about how they think immigrants are a burden, how they think that deportations are somehow justified, and that separating family is just a natural consequence of illegal immigration. It's like they have built their entire worldview around a completely distorted perception of immigrants as criminals or as lesser than. It's a toxic mindset that often disregards the complexities of immigration and the human stories behind the statistics. What's really striking is that this woman's opinion isn't unique. It's rooted in the broader political climate that has been fostered over the years, particularly in countries like the United States, where immigration has become one of the most divisive issues in recent times. Politicians, media outlets, and even social influencers have made it a point to frame immigration as the other people who don't belong, who are taking away jobs, who are somehow a threat to national security. This narrative has been repeated so much that it starts to stick, even when it completely diverges from reality. The fact that these immigrants contribute greatly to economics, cultures, and society worldwide, yet these truths are often ignored in favor of fear-mongering and stereotypes. And here is where things get complicated. This kind of dehumanization isn't just happening in online comments or viral TikToks. It's being pushed in policy, in the media, and in everyday conversations. You can see it in how children are being taken from their parents at the border how families are being torn apart, and how immigrant communities are constantly being targeted by laws and regulations that make it harder for them to live with dignity. The historic in this viral video might seem extreme to some, but it's in line with a much larger narrative that's deeply ingrained in certain sectors of society. What I find particularly worrying is how these views can affect the next generation. If children and young people grow up hearing these kinds of statements, they might internalize these ideas and carry them forward. They might see immigrants not as people with families, dreams, and struggles of their own, but as a monolith to be feared or even hated. That is how prejudice gets passed down, through the normalization of harmful historic and the failure to challenge it. On the flip side, it's inspiring to see the pushback. Many people are taking this moment to highlight the human cost of immigration policy. They are sharing stories of immigrant families, stories of struggle, resilience, and hope. They are pointing out the pain that comes with family separation, the trauma that children face when they lose their families and parents, and the broader implications of treating people like they are disposable. It's a call to action for all of us to remember that no matter someone's immigration status, they are human beings who deserve compassion and respect. I also want to mention the physiological toll this kind of history can take on the individuals and families directly affected. For immigrants who are already living under the threat of deportation, to hear these kinds of comments must feel like an extra punch to the guts. It's one thing to face legal challenges, to struggle with the uncertainty of your future, but to hear someone publicly saying that they don't care if your family gets torn apart, that is a level of cruelty that's difficult to understand. In the end, this TikTok video might just be a symptom of something much larger. It's not just one person with an opinion. It's a reflection of how deeply rooted and perspective anti-immigrant sentiment can be, and is a reminder that the fight for justice, for empathy, and for a more inclusive society is far from over. We need to continue pushing back against this kind of human historic, calling out dehumanization whenever we see it, and advocating for policy that treats all people with dignity. I will leave you with this. The real test for all of us is how we respond to moments like this. Do we allow this kind of hate to thrive, or do we stand up and show that kindness, respect, and empathy always win? We have got to keep that momentum going, and we have got to make sure that the loudest voices are the ones advocating for the compassion. If you got thoughts on this, drop them in the comments. Let's talk about it. As always, stay respectful and remember to treat everyone with the humanity they deserve. See you next time.